Guys, what is going on? I am back with another YouTube live here, and I'm also live on Instagram. Definitely hit me up if you have any real estate related questions because the latest numbers just came out from Bright MLS about what's going on in the Northern Virginia and DC housing market. As always, definitely comment where you guys are going to be watching from because I think you're going to be really shocked to see some of these numbers that have just came out on the housing market here in Northern Virginia. We got a ton of people jumping on Instagram, some people watching on YouTube. What's up, guys? Best place for single people to rent, that's got to be over in Arlington. What's up, Rita? Guys, what is going on? Well, okay, there's something right there I'm not going to read. So, guys, comment before you're watching. We got one loud in Springfield watching from Manassas, Falls Church City. We got over here, Springfield, Mixing Bowl, boo. Like, what areas tonight do you guys want me to talk about? As always, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home anywhere here in the DMV area, definitely shoot me an email. We actually had 4 closings this week, 3 from YouTube and 1 from Instagram. Woodbridge, Centerville, Ashburn, Arlington, Haymarket, Sterling, Warrenton. Definitely going to be talking about the market here, right? Like, one thing, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the interest rates are starting to creep up. And yeah, I see if you're thinking about buying a house, definitely DM me if you are thinking about buying. We could do a consultation. Got a bunch of people from Arlington, Clarendon, thinking about housing in Ashburn. Certainly a good area. Guys, so let's just talk about what's up. Derek Bennett, how you doing, man? Let's talk a little bit about the Northern Virginia, DC area in general really quick. And these stats like literally just came out. So a lot of people ask me, where did you get these from? It comes right from the MLS. We're going to talk about what is going on with the market here. And I want to pull up something that I thought was really interesting. And let me know if you guys have any like questions or anything. But check this out really quick. So I just wanted to see like what was going on in the whole DC area. And right now, if you look in the DC metro area, over the last year, the median sales price has gone up from 545 to 599,000. And the median days on market is only 7 days. And then the new pendings are going down, and then the new listings, there's not as many. Active listings are a little bit higher, so there is a little bit more inventory right now than you used to seeing. Now, the one thing I always look at is this month's supply, and it's at 1.39. So what does that mean? It's only going to take 4 or 5 weeks for all the houses to sell here in Northern Virginia. I've seen it be as high as 6 to 9 months in my career, so that simply blows my mind. Let me know again. A ton of people are watching on Instagram where you guys are watching from. So let's dive into some of these local areas here really quick, and then we can dive into some neighborhoods. Let's talk about Alexandria. And I was really shocked when I was looking at Alexandria's market stats. 189 new listings last month, down 8%, 198 pendings, closed sales 161, but the median sold price in Alexandria hit 702,000. Yeah, Heritage Hunt is definitely popular. I got a bunch of family that lives in there. But last year it was 665,000. So they're up 6% year over year. Now, what really shocks me about Alexandria, it's at a 5-year low for active listings. There's only 130, but then days on market is only 13. And then people are getting 101% of asking price. So Alexandria has got to be one of the more hotter areas around here. What do you guys think about that? Does that shock you guys? Now let's look over at Arlington. I had a ton of people commenting, that they were watching in Arlington. Always shoot me a DM. I can more than happy to jump on a Zoom with you and we can talk more. You can also email me info@colganteam.com. So let's look at this. Arlington new listings are down 16%. Pendings are down 5%. And then closed sales are down 10%. But look at that. The median sold price in Arlington is up 10% to $717,000, up from $650,000. Now, Arlington is also close to a 5-year low to 224. But look at that. The days on market is around 27, but people are getting 100.6% of asking price. So what does that tell me, right? Like, people are basically, the condo market there is probably slowing it down a little bit. Condos do take a little bit longer to sell. So definitely keep that in mind. But yeah, a lot of low inventory over in Alexandria and Arlington for sure. Let's talk about Fauquier County. Everyone always asks me about Fauquier County. I know some of my YouTube viewers really like it there. New listings are up 8%. So there's more inventory. New pendings are up 30%. Closed sales are down 14%. If there's anybody watching from Fauquier, definitely comment. Let me know what's going over there. But the medium sold price is up 11% to 555,000. Active listings 111. But look at that. Days on market 48 days. Average sold price 99%. So when you get further out in the suburbs, what that's showing me is it's taking a little bit longer to sell. I appreciate you, Bruno. I'm glad you guys like my content. We've hit like 4 or 5 million weekly viewers, which is just like insane. Let's talk about Loudoun County, probably the most popular county when I'm on Instagram or Fairfax, or when people see me out, they always ask me about Loudoun. New listings are down 10%. New pendings are down 6%. And closed sales are down 2%. But look at that. The medium sold price in Loudoun County hit 750,000, up 4% year over year. So you want to see anywhere from like 2, 3 to 4%. That's going to be more of a normal market. But let's take a look. They're about at their 5-year average for active listings. So things may be evening out a little bit over in Loudoun County. But if you look at the average days on market, it's only taking 2 weeks for houses to sell in Loudoun County, and people are getting 101% of their asking price in Loudoun County. I see a bunch of people are jumping on YouTube. Definitely comment where you guys are watching from for sure. And once I get done here, I can definitely answer all your all's questions. We can pull up some different areas, neighborhoods. Stafford down 15% new listings. New pendings are up 12%. Closed sales are down 28%. But look at that. Medium sold price in Stafford is almost up 10% year over year to 522,500. So Stafford is a really hot market, almost at their 5-year average, 28 days. So it's taken about a month on average for houses to sell. And then people are getting 99% of their asking price. So you're not seeing like as many like multiple offers. There are still a lot of people asking, like for inspections to be waived, things like that. You're not seeing some of the craziness. What's up from Haymarket? We just had like 3 closings in Haymarket this week. Fairfax County, the biggest county, just did a fun video with the Fairfax police, by the way, that we're going to be hopefully dropping here soon. New listings are down 13%. Fairfax does not have a lot of homes for sale. New pendings are up 2%. Closed sales are down 14%. And the medium sold price, check this out, is up 12% year over year. So Fairfax's prices are up 12% year over year. So a medium sold price of 740,000. Active listings is almost at a 5-year low at 827. Average days on market 14. But look at this. People in Fairfax County are getting 102.6% of their asking price, meaning if you have $1 million house, you're probably going to get $1,020,000. So Fairfax has got to be one of the most hottest markets in all of the United States. I mean, literally all of the United States, Fairfax County might be one of the most hottest markets. And we got some people that just commented, Broadlands, Fairfax City, come to McLean. If I could afford it, I would move over there with you guys to McLean. Definitely not a cheap area. So again, Fairfax County, really popular area, one of the more hotter markets in all of the United States. Let's check out Prince William County. Anybody on Instagram watching from Prince William County or YouTube? New listings are down 12%. Pendings are up 3%. Closed sales are down 12%. Medium sold price up 11% to 580,000. So year over year, you can see Prince William County's. You can kind of see where these trajectories have gone. This is when you saw a huge rate spike, and then the prices kind of slowly went back up. There was a little bit of shock there. Nick, I'll answer your question about the data centers. I have a lot of thoughts on that. They're almost at a 5-year average. For 5-year low for active listings, days on market 17 days, and then people are getting 101% of asking price. Daniel, you had asked me about what about Arlington and what about Roslyn area. So if we go over to Arlington, right, there's a lot of people that have asked me about Arlington. I can pull up Arlington and see what's going on in the whole area. And so if I go over to the dashboard here, let's check this out. Arlington, yeah, let's see what the average sold price is over there. This is something that always look at that. It's up 4%. So last March, they 844,000. So Arlington County's average sold price is now $881,000. So Arlington is still doing really well. The thing that goes a little bit slow in Arlington is the condo market. Those can take a little bit of time. A ton of people are asking me about Broadlands. Let's see what's going on over there. What other real estate questions do you guys have for me about buying a home, selling a home, any other questions that you guys might have? So let's check this out. Broadlands, Ashburn, man, medium sold price is up to $1 million, up 7.6% year over year. Average days on market is only 5 days. So if you're putting a house on this for sale in Broadlands, more than likely it's going to sell in 5 days, and it's going to sell really quickly. So just a very hot market over there. Comment, let me know what on YouTube where you guys are watching and what other areas that you guys are interested in. One thing I want to see is what's going on in Washington, D.C., because D.C. has been a little bit funky lately here. And I want to see if they're actually struggling. So let's see here. Haymarket. Well, someone's asking about Haymarket. So here's one thing with Haymarket. It's a little tricky lately over in Haymarket because of all the new construction, that 155 plus, they've kind of messed with it. But let's check this out. Year over year, average sold price is over almost to $900,000 with the average days on market of 14 days. So yeah, definitely, Haymarket's definitely popping as well. Mike Kane said, Fredericksburg, I can definitely help you with that. Fredericksburg, let's check out Fredericksburg. Let's pull up Stafford. Yeah, I can. So Casey asked me if I can do that. Yeah, if you shoot me an email, info@colganteam.com, I can definitely do that for you. Let's pull up Fredericksburg. You want me to look up the Fredericksburg city or the county of Stafford? But Fredericksburg, I'm sure, is still doing really well. The main things that I really look for is this right here. Let's click on this. And then the medium sold price. So is up 9%, 415 to 455,000. And then let's look at average sold. Yeah, 450 to 493. So prices are up about 9%. And let's look at average days on market. So the average days on market in Fredericksburg is around a month. So that's probably not that bad. So Fredericksburg is still a pretty good market area. So let's see. Let me get into some of your else questions really quick. So do I think condo values will increase over time, or is it too overpopulated with luxury apartments being bordered with McLean and Great Falls? The problem with condos that I only ever see is the fees can get pretty high. And when you're talking high-rise condos that have the elevators can really mess you up a little bit, and especially if they have to be replaced and all that. Now, the thing is, though, they're not really building any more land over in McLean, Vienna, Great Falls. But I definitely think it's not a bad place to invest. But if I was going to buy a condo anywhere, no matter if it was Manassas, McLean, Arlington, I would really watch the dues. I would be where are your dues at? How are your reserves? Are the dues out of control? Are they $800 to $1,000 a month? And then that lets people, want to be able to maybe back out of it, or the condo association loses money, things like that. That's one thing that I would look out for. What other questions do you guys have? What other areas do you want me to talk about? What I'm seeing now is the market's softened a little bit. You're not seeing as many people do the dumb things waive everything, because the interest rates did hit about 7%. So someone on Instagram asked me, what do I think about the condo style townhomes? Those aren't bad. That became really popular. But again, you got to imagine, right? It is still a condo form of ownership. The only time that I've seen some negative things really happen with those is if the whole roof needs to be replaced, then you're paying for everybody's roof to be replaced, right? You're paying for everything. So you're still in that condo form of ownership. So you're going to want to make sure that they have plenty of reserves. And in Virginia, by law, you have 3 days to review your condo association booklet. So if we ever do a home buying consultation, which I do all the time, we can definitely talk more. So What data centers are willing to pay per acre for real estate market, and are they paying premium acre, especially in Prince William County? I think the data center market obviously still very hot. I think we're kind of getting to the point though that they're running out of land. I think they're going to try to start pushing some over into Warrenton, the Vent Hill area, even though the people there don't really want it. But I definitely think the data centers, when Microsoft is paying $4 million an acre for land in Gainesville, it's definitely gotten out of control. There's been some big housing developments that have been canceled because the developers sold to data centers. So, I mean, it's just making it a super large inventory. The Washington Post came out with an article that said we need to build about 80 homes a day in the Washington, D.C. area to keep up with demand. And we are about like 30 or 40 homes a day. So we are nowhere near where we need to be. That is for sure. Manassas Park is nice. There's a lot of new things going on in the Manassas Park on like the newer side, and on the other side, the World War II area. That's where my grandma bought a house there for $1,200. What's next rural area that will blow up, either Marshall or Bealton? I would put my money on Marshall. They had a very bad water problem that got fixed, and that area is getting done. I know Van Meter's building a neighborhood in there. That area, I think they're going to want to expand that more than Bealton, would be my honest opinion. That's what I would think. So if I was looking, hey, whether it would be like Marshall or Bealton, I probably would bet on Marshall, but I think Marshall might be a little more expensive. Looking to purchase a home Loudoun near Dallas Airport within 10 miles, definitely shoot me a DM. We can jump on a Zoom and I can talk to you a little bit more and show you some things what I think about that. Heritage, which Heritage? I love Creighton Farms. South riding prices are crazy. That I definitely know. What do you guys think on YouTube? What questions do you have? McLean or Potomac? I am a big McLean fan. What do I think of buying a house next to a data center? What are my opinions on that? If you look out the window and you see a big data center, obviously that's going to affect you. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going anywhere. So let's see here. Someone asked me, how about renovated single family homes around East Falls Church? We have a guy that he's an agent strictly in Falls Church. But anyways, they got to be up going to $800,000 to $1 million at this point in Falls Church, right? Like we had one that wasn't fixed up, that was really small, Cape Cod, that we sold last year for like $650. So they got to be way up there. If you shoot me an address, I can definitely shoot it over to you if you want to shoot me a message or a thing on Instagram. I am from here in Northern Virginia. I was born in Gainesville, Virginia, believe it or not. Not many people can say that, honestly. Like, yeah, I was born here. I've lived here my whole life, so I've seen all the changes. How about buying land, and what are the best areas? That is probably the most common question that I get. Here is the problem with land. You got to be able to pay cash for the land. And then you're going to want to be able to expect to pay $50,000 to $100,000 for a septic system. So a lot of people, banks do not loan money on land unless it's a really, really good localized bank, which most of those banks are gone. So right now, land is very difficult. And if you figure if it's anywhere in the Northern Virginia area, then it's going to be really expensive. You could get some out in Shenandoah, Front Royal, but you definitely expect to spend a lot more money unless you were going to find like a builder that had already started that owned a bunch of land. But land, I will tell you 100% is very tough. Yes, I would use a HELOC someone asked me, do I recommend using a HELOC to buy a rental property? Yeah, what I would do, and I've done this before myself, is I would use the HELOC to buy the rental property, and then I would do a cash out refinance. Now, they're not going to give you all the money back, but they'll probably give you about like 70%. So that is definitely a good way to buy rental properties. In my mind, that's how I bought most of mine. I love to live in Middleburg, but I think Marshall would be better prices on land. Yeah, for sure. Any land in Middleburg is going to be tough. And then you got to imagine too, like in the Middleburg area, anything that could have been developed there will be, and they usually will fight a lot of a development over there. But anywhere in that Marshall, the Plains, Middleburg, Fauquier area, that you're talking big, big money over there, that can be a little tough to buy properties over there. Frederick, Maryland's a really nice area. Someone asked me on Instagram, really blowing up close to Leesburg. What if you don't have, there's a lady, if you shoot me a DM, there's somebody that does only investment property loans that I know. With today's interest rates, it's really hard to do an investment property. Right now, they're going to want more money because it's a lot more risk on the lender. So definitely keep that in mind if you want to buy an investment property. Like, you're going to have to pay premium. I don't really know of any local banks that are doing land loans right now. Yeah, what's up? Somebody said, bro, your social media beast want a carpool to visit with me this year. What's up, man? I appreciate that. Yeah, definitely shoot me a DM. Yeah. And what other questions do you guys have about Northern Virginia or the DC area, real estate related questions? Like I said earlier, the market stats just dropped from the MLS. And right now, what they are saying is the medium days on market in the DC area is 7 days. Medium sales price in DC market is 599,000, and there's only 1.39 months supply of homes for sale here in the DC market. So we are still really in a seller's market. Now, the Fed just pretty much is not going to be lowering the rates anytime soon. So I think we will see, as these prices keep going up and up, I will say that I definitely think we're going to see a little bit more softening here. Because, I mean, when you're talking 7-8% interest rates, like, you know, a lot of people just can't afford it. And so I think we're going to definitely see some softening on the market there as the interest rates continue to rise, for sure. One of the things in business, I saw some Fair Oaks Mall, like one of the owners kind of came out of that or something. So I'm thinking, I don't know, Fair Oaks, I think they're probably going to start using some of this parking space to build office spaces and whatnot. What do you think about buying condos next to Ashburn Metro Station? If you can buy a condo anywhere near a metro station, anywhere in Ashburn's like buying in Beverly Hills, in my opinion. Ashburn, Virginia, you can't go wrong. Anywhere near a metro around here, you can't go wrong, especially if it's newer. I know that Silver Line hasn't been as busy as they had hoped, but definitely, you know, you definitely can't go wrong with those. That's for sure. Anywhere in Loudoun County, in my opinion, is not a bad buy. Honestly, anywhere in Northern Virginia is not a bad buy at this point. When you start to get out, like I know some of the builders are like going way far out, like Southern Virginia down to Roanoke, because there's no more land around here, or it's not very profitable. But what's the next up and coming new construction development under 500,000, hour and a half from DC? It's going to be Luray, Virginia, or maybe even where JMU is. Those are going to be you know, probably your next big up and coming areas. Keep in mind that Luray, Virginia doesn't really have a huge job market that to compete with. So condo values long-term in Arlington versus one Loudoun, you know, let's take a look, right? So if I was looking at, you know, one Loudoun is definitely a good area. I guess they're like doubling the size of it. I think Arlington's you can never go wrong with Arlington, right? The closer you are to DC, traditionally real estate has gone up a lot more, obviously. And then there's a lot more younger crowd that walks around and all that thing like that. It's only probably about like 50% of the people have a car. But one Loudoun's really nice, really beautiful. A lot more of the people that work from home and do the flex job. You really can't go wrong on any of them. But if I was going to decide whether I was going to live there or not, I would look at the condo dues and I would see how much they are. I suspect they're going to be a lot more in Arlington. And then I would see what I was willing to let go over that, you know, that made sense. Thoughts on Winchester versus Luray? Winchester all day long. Luray just doesn't have a big job market at the moment. That's going to be a big problem for them right now going forward. I mean, the only thing there's not much out there to do. I know there's like a brand new townhouse development out there, but there's just not much out there to do. Yeah, you can do the whole Airbnb thing, but it's only like seasonal on all that. Hello from Middleburg. What's going on? Definitely a beautiful place. Any other questions you guys have for me? What are you guys thinking? Are you shocked by these values keep going up and up? You know, I'm not really that surprised. I've seen so many companies moving here lately. Northern Virginia, DC area seems to be coming, you know, kind of just growing and growing. So that's like, I'm not really surprised that I'm seeing some of this appreciation. Like, and you know, when you look at some of this, what they go on to say is, and the MLS and their data and their research, they go on to say that active listings at the end of the month were 4% higher than last year across Washington, D.C. However, not all buyers have more choices, even more so in Alexandria, Arlington, and Fairfax. So those are probably the hottest areas right now. New listings declined 11% in D.C. areas. I mean, less people are putting their houses on the market. Despite inventory increase, the medium sold price is 599,000, up 10% since last March, the fastest pace since February 2022. Homes will continue to sell quickly in a competitive DC market. Half of all homes sold in March were on the market for a week or less. The spring market should be challenging as new listings continue to hold down. That buyers who wait for lower mortgage rates later this year could find more inventory, but they will face even more competition. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think we're actually going to see, eventually when you come to get to the election, the Fed is probably going to start to cut the rates a little bit. If they get it down to like 5.5%, 6% for people that are locked into these 2 or 3% rates, these people are going to want to move finally and move up. So I think you will see a little bit of another uptick, but I definitely think the prices have gotten sky high around here, but it doesn't seem to be slowing down. I know Florida, Texas, some of these other areas have already slowed down, but Northern Virginia, just hasn't done. Someone asked me, why do people like Nova so much? Honestly, I've had a lot of clients move here and then move away and then move back. It's all about jobs. Everything's about the job market. Mostly it's pretty much all new things around here. Anything is about jobs. I mean, you think about all the companies that have moved here recently: Amazon, Boeing, Lockheed Martin's here, all the Capital One. There's just so many jobs around here, and we got the Department of Defense, so that doesn't help. Do I think Gainesville, Virginia will keep going up? I'd like to buy a house there. Definitely shoot me a message because I live in Gainesville. Definitely. I mean, I think Gainesville is great. Gainesville is a good spot. It just depends on like where you want to be over there. A good location. Obviously, they renovated the road over there. By the way, my grandfather was a senator for 40 years, and he was the one that got the funding for that. But any other question, guys? We've been on doing this for a half hour. We've had a ton of people watching on Instagram. Like I said, if you're thinking about buying or selling a home, definitely hit me up, info@colganteam.com, or shoot me a text. I'll put my number in below. Most of my buyers and sellers come from this YouTube channel and Instagram channel. We have 3 or 4 million viewers every week. So we are definitely getting a ton of people watching in the DMV area. Any good areas at homes with elevators or wheelchairs accessibility? There definitely is. We can definitely do a search for you on that and kind of help you find something. Bristow is a really good market as well. It's kind of touching Manassas, but Patriot High School and Bristow has been one of the more popular schools that out-of-towners have asked me about. I don't know what's going on there, but everyone keeps asking to say they want their kids to go to Patriot. Sterling, what's up? What's going on? Let's look up Sterling. Let's see what's going on over there. I got a bunch of friends that live over in Sterling. Someone told me there's like a big new development coming over there. I didn't even realize it. So let's pull this up. And Sterling, yeah, so I don't know if I actually believe all that, but let's see here. Yeah, the prices are up almost 20% to an average sales price of $710,000. And then average days on market is down. So look how much, like, you can see houses went from taking 27 days to only 11 days. So I don't know what's going on in Sterling, but Sterling is definitely a very hot market at the moment. So if you live in Sterling, then Cliff Daily there, you're pretty lucky. I don't know what the heck happened there, but it looks like Sterling kind of blew up. Chris, why are DMV prices still high compared to other states like Florida, Texas, Arizona? California prices are coming down and not here. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that. So number one is going to be, you have data centers that bought all the land up. So we no longer have large tract neighborhoods. We never had that around here where you're talking to Florida or Texas. You have 2,000-3,000 neighborhood homes. I think the last neighborhood that I could think of would be South Riding or Dominion Valley, which were started in the early 2000s. Number two, it's the job market. I mean, they're offering just ridiculous salaries. And then the Department of Defense is pretty much telling companies now, like, you have to be based in the DC area to get some of these contracts. So you've just had so many companies. And then when you figure 85% of the internet is running out of here now at this point, and then you add in artificial intelligence is now coming around with like the new Microsoft data center in Gainesville is going to be AI based. They're going to have an AI campus there. It is definitely just a hot area, but I know some areas in Florida are really starting to struggle, like Fort Myers, Florida, parts of Austin, Texas is down 20%. They just really overbuilt it. We have a huge lack of housing here in the DMV. Says here, it makes me not want to buy a house anytime soon because it looks like prices are not going to stop. How do you balance out? Here's the thing, right? This is what I tell everybody. If you're going to live in it for like 3 to 5 years at least, then it's not really a bad time to buy. I've been doing this since I was 20. I was in it during the '08 thing when everything crashed. And it took a couple years for that to come back. I don't really see that happening again just because they made the lending so strict around here. Like, it's so hard to get a loan the last like 10 to 15 years. But if you're thinking, hey, I'm only going to live there for a year or two, then I would never do that. Like, I would need more of a long-term investment. But it's crazy, right? Like, you're seeing people go all the way out to West Virginia and Richmond and commute into Arlington and DC. I mean, it's nuts. But I mean, really, a lot of people are getting priced out of Northern Virginia. I mean, honestly, it's pretty much the brand new, Malibu or Silicon Valley. It really is. It's like the Silicon Valley of the East. Someone said, please give us some more content on Kingstown and Alexandria. I just paid a drone guy. It took 60 days to get the FAA approval for him, but he finally was able to get me some drone footage of Springfield. So we're going to be doing some more content on the Springfield area. I'm also about to drop a big video on Loudoun County being the biggest and richest county in the United States. We're going to talk more about that. Some of these YouTube videos take us a couple of days to shoot. Do I think rates will go down? I definitely think they will eventually, but right now they're holding steady. The problem is, if you really want to know what goes on, you just watch these job reports come out, and they're trying to get the job market to calm down a little bit, and they just can't. The job market is still good. So as long as that happens, the Fed is not going to lower rates. And so right now, the job market's too good. And so that's the problem. Like, until that happens, I do not see them lowering rates. Maybe by the time the election rolls around, when people get a little bit scared and all that, they'll do it. But they have shown no signs. I mean, I think the other day Wall Street reacted and the Dow was down like 500 points because the latest job market. It's funny, the economy is doing well, so they don't want to lower rates because then it causes inflation. But I think you've probably seen some of these viral stories where you go out to Five Guys and it's freaking $40 for a burger and fries. That's what they're trying to get out of. So guys, like I said, I appreciate you guys watching on here. Wanted to do a quick market update. We went through the whole area. If you ever have any questions, let me know. Do I have a daughter that goes to Bull Run Middle School? I don't. I think that might be one of my nieces. I have a big family around here. I was born around here in Northern Virginia. If you're thinking about buying or selling a home, definitely let me know. Shoot me a DM anytime. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will post this up on YouTube. And I will see you guys later. And let me know what you want me to talk about next week on our live.